Alright then, welcome back everybody for the next episode of Singled Out. Today we're going to take a closer look and single out the competitor to the Mustang GT350R, or the current one, which is the Camaro ZL1 1LE. Now, what a great name that is, right? ZL1 1LE. It's kind of like a lot of European cars, if you know a lot about older European cars things. I can't say they do it too much anymore, but they used to like to add a lot of numbers and letters and things and just have it all together as one name. But anyways, it's kind of like that. And the ZL1 1LE is a really cool car. Obviously, most of these cars are going to be pretty cool. And the fact that it's, I don't know, Camaros have had an uphill battle for the last couple of years. In fact, they've actually usually always had an uphill battle. The last generation, or before, I guess you'd say it was the fourth generation, has actually had that one, if you see those driving around town, which that's all the way up to the 1990s, that's an ugly car. Camaros were not pretty. They looked a lot like Pontiacs, like the Firebird and stuff, but just, to be honest, almost kind of worse. And there is a select group of people that like them. Me not being one of them. not a good-looking car. Then they came back with their fifth generation, and they finally like had something there, right? And it at least looked a lot better than whatever the hell they were doing. To be honest, to me it almost seems like if you look at the fifth generation Camaro, you can almost see some hints from like Dodge and stuff with the way that the rear end hips are. It looks kind of Charger-ish, things like that. But anyways, then we get on to the sixth generation, which is doing much better in the design department and much better as a car as a whole. You got your base models and stuff with your still V6, and now they have the turbo 4-cylinder. And I've already expressed my opinions on that. There's nothing wrong with getting a turbo 4-cylinder, still 300 horsepower, blah blah blah. And you have your SS with your V8, and then you get to your ZL1, which is your Corvette powered 650 horsepower Camaro, and then after that you get your ZL1 1LE, which is your performance-based track vehicle. And oh boy, is it a track vehicle. It does its job very well. It has the same 650 horsepower motor as the regular ZL1, which that is still a mind-boggling number, 650 horsepower in a Camaro. That's fantastic. And then its curb weight, which is I guess maybe a little interesting. It's not too big a difference. Your regular ZL1 with a manual is 3,883 pounds. The ZL1 1LE, which only comes with manual, can't get an automatic, comes at 3,820. So 63 gain, or loss, in my opinion. 63 pounds lost, which any shed weight is good. Especially since they did technically add a few things to the vehicle. So, but luckily they got lighter wheels and things like that to get rid of some of the weight. Now, what did they add? Well, they added a nice big front splitter, front fascia aero wings. Not exactly the precise name for them is, sadly. Bigger wing, much bigger wing than the regular one. Almost, it's not quite as big as ZR1's wing, but it's a lot bigger. And a big thing is probably the new tires that are made for it, the F1 tires. Goodness, that does not sound good coming out of that new GMC Sierra, new-ish. Anyways, has the tires designed specifically for the car. And that helps a lot with grip, especially if they're a lot bigger and things like that. That plus your wing, your front splitter is going to be where a lot of your downforce comes, and that's how you become a track car. The better your car is held down to the ground, the better it will go around a track. That's just how it works, and they did a good job at it. Mustang doesn't have quite as many of the aero features. It's got a splitter and things like that. It's got a wing, but the 1LEs is a bit more aggressive. Now, same with the GT350R. With the new generation of auto fanatics and things like that, this is not the first ZL1 1LE. This is not the first 1LE performance package offered. Back in the 1980s, during the 4th generation of Mustang, when they finally got rid of the 4-cylinder, also not the first time the cars had a 4-cylinder, they also had a 1LE performance package. Sadly, specs were hard to come by on it. They did not make many, so not a lot of information out there about what it did. But I do know that it had an option for if you wanted the air conditioning or if you wanted the rear seat removed and stuff like that, like most cars will allow you to have. The current 1LE actually doesn't have those. You still get to keep your air conditioning and everything, and still have a good car. Maybe it's not as good. Maybe you don't get the option. So, but then again, who really wants to? Out of the whole general population, no one really wants to sacrifice their passenger seat and their rear seat. That is a lot to lose, and you might not think about it, but driving around a car with one seat is, if it's your only car, probably ends up becoming a bit of a hassle. If you have 2, 3 cars, then, who cares? Fuck it. Get rid of all seats. Just put one race seat. One. That's it. Get rid of the air conditioning. Get rid of the heating. Get rid of everything. But if it's your one car, don't do it. Your life will be hell. And one of the most interesting facts that I found about the current generation Camaro is 70% of its parts are original to the Camaro. What does that mean? That means your gear shifter, your door panels, your window switches, things like that. 70% of those are Camaro specific, which may not sound that interesting, but if you look at a Honda Civic and a Honda Accord, you might find some similar door panels and stuff like that. But if you look at a Honda Accord and an Acura TL, they will damn near, except for usually the center console, be the same car. Maybe the gauge cluster is a little different, but they will almost be the exact same car. Kia Sorento and Hyundai Santa Fe, same car. GMC Sierra, Chevrolet Silverado, those things are fucking identical. That's basically the exact same car. They just took a different badge. Not even like the gauge cluster is different on those. Goddamn, I don't know how they get away with that. Because they still sell both vehicles, but it's the same fucking thing. This year GMC is going a little different now. And they got their fancy tail bed and stuff like that. But it's the same fucking truck. You're not fooling me. So, 70% of the Camaro is all original. That's actually pretty cool. So when you get in it, maybe you don't even notice that it's a bad thing. But you might get in the car and go like, oh, this is actually from this car, or whatever. Now, you won't have that at all. You'll be like, wow, this is all new. Which is good. It's good that it's new. And one last kind of interesting fact is that the ZL1 1LE has a top speed of 205. The regular ZL1 has a top speed of 198. So it gained quite a few miles per hour. But what I like more about it is that it's the exact same top speed as the Corvette Z06. Not the ZR1, obviously. The ZR1's got 100 horsepower and torque over it and stuff like that. So that's not even in the realm. I guess that's only 2012. But anyways, it's the exact same top speed as a Corvette Z06. Now, I find that interesting that you can get a Corvette and Camaro that can go the exact same speed. But I guess it's alright if you can at least have the... Like, I feel like the Corvette is more of a supercar and should go faster, so at least they have the next level up with the ZR1. But, the ZL1 is a cool car. If you are ZL1 1LE, my bad. Probably said ZL1 a lot this time. Just that. By mistake. But it's a very cool car, and when we get into patch notes, I think it'll be interesting to see the Nürburgring times against each other to see which one really is better. So we'll save that for the weekend. As for right now, comment any car you'd like us to do. Maybe we can do a week theme after it. Like, subscribe as usual. Of course, like anyone else, all those always help. And to be honest at this point, we really would just like your feedback. That'd be great. So have a great day and see you tomorrow.